Update regarding the Israeli official who tried to have with a child in Vegas, then fled to Israel after meeting with the NSA. The U.S. Attorney General who released him is Israeli-born Sigal Chattah makes sense now, especially given the fact that Vegas was effectively built by the Adelson gambling empire. The entire city is an Israeli operation. LOL to the guys who think what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in Vegas likely winds up stored in a file in Israel. Israel is the godforsaken country of blackmail, murder, and child abuse. So we briefly covered this story already once, but there's another twist to the story. Las Vegas, an undercover operations targeting child predators in the Las Vegas Valley over 2 weeks resulted in the arrest of 8 individuals, according to... So who are the individuals? Well, this guy right here, Artiom Alexandrovich, he is a deputy to Benjamin Netanyahu. He's in charge of their cybersecurity.
Okay.
And and here he is. That's him.
Oh, yeah, guy.
He's the executive director of Israel's National Cyber Directorate. So
he has to make sure no young kids get through.
So he got caught being a child predator in Las Vegas. He thought he was talking to a real kid, and he wasn't. He was talking to a policeman online.
And Chris Hansen?
And then he got Chris Hansen.
Nice.
And so when he went to meet the kid, the cops arrested him.
And then when Hansen said, "You're free to go," he really was. You're free to go.
So here's the twist. So here's the acting U.S. attorney in Nevada who made sure he got let go. She facilitated his letting go, although she tried to pretend she didn't. And who is she? Well, Trump appointed, her name is Sigal Chattah.
Sigal Chattah.
Sigal Chattah. He appointed her to the post of U.S. Attorney for Nevada in March of 2025. She was then the interim U.S. Attorney for Nevada. And she was supposed to be only last 120 days. That's how long you can appoint someone, an interim U.S. Attorney. So, but the time limit was overridden when Chattah, she resigned early. That enabled Trump to reappoint her as acting U.S. attorney. She's not been confirmed by the Senate. And she's a maniac. And I'm sure her rise to power... Anyway, this is what she tweeted out.
Is she talking about Nevada?
So Open Source said that the Bibas family shared this following message. In the past few hours, we have been shaken by the announcement from Hamas spokesman regarding the expected return of our Shiri, Ariel, and Kiefer this Thursday as part of a hostage release process. She retweets that and says no statehood ever for these criminals. Oh, I'm sorry. Worse.
Oh, animals.
She says no statehood ever for these animals. Netanyahu needs to start acting like Churchill instead of Chamberlain and wipe Gaza off the map. That's the woman Trump appointed to be the acting U.S. attorney in charge of Nevada.
Chattah for Nevada. It says as her.
Yeah.
Well, she thinks Netanyahu is too much of a pussy. Is that her message?
That's I guess that is her message.
Okay, so she goes real hard on that issue, but I guess fairly lax on luring a child over the internet.
Was this, by the way, is this the family, the Bibas? Is this the that's not the family of Israeli mega pop star Justin Bibas, is it?
No, it's not just.
I don't keep up with the kids and their music and their hair these days, but is it maybe that's
not,
just it's
Bibas
not
Levers.
That's not Justin Bibas, no.
Do you like Justin Bibas?
Here's another one. There are 2 million terrorists in Gaza. Leary was in their homes, and the children, even the children, are part of this. So she's blaming the children. This is why it makes it okay to kill the children. It's not just those carrying rifles and wearing green headbands. The so-called uninvolved civilians are not uninvolved at all.
Well, you keep killing them, so that's true. They are involved.
Yeah. Well,
wow. Where'd she come from? The desert?
She's from Israel. She's originally...
you don't say.
No, she was born in Israel.
Yeah, which sounds like it.
And so here's a video of her when she was running for office. She was running for attorney in Nevada. She lost. Max Blumenthal caught this. She says the acting U.S. attorney who enabled the flight of accused Israeli child predator and cyber spy Tom Alexandrovich campaigned for Nevada Attorney General by boasting of her Israeli citizenship and pushing crass hatred of Muslims. Her campaign ad was called Israeli Born. Want to hear it?
The radical left is burning down our country and attacking Jews in the streets, and Ilhan Omar is fanning the flame. I'm Sigal Chattah, an Israeli-born lawyer running to be America's #1 conservative attorney general. I'll stand up to Ilhan Omar and take her team to court for defunding our police, opening our borders, and teaching our kids to hate each other based on the color of their skin. I need your help. The left is pouring money into this seat so they can put more criminals on the streets. Can you chip in $25 right now? If enough patriots come together, we'll be able to build a grassroots campaign necessary to stop Ilhan Omar in her tracks. It's time that we put strong female lawyers like myself forward to make our case.
That was not a question. Thank you.
She's going to hate it if this message goes viral. Thanks for your support, and God bless America. My name is Sigal Chattah, and I approve this message.
So that's the maniac Trump appointed. Israel first, as always. Israel born, Israel first.
She's so conservative. She likes Israeli sex offenders. Go home immediately.
That's how conservative she is. She's upset that Ilhan Omar is defunding the police, which they didn't. That's all bunk. In fact, they refunded the police and added an extra $2 billion onto the police budget.
But Jimmy,
so, and how bad of a person is she? Well,
wait. Ilhan Omar is from where? Not Nevada.
She's from Minnesota, so she's running against someone from Minnesota.
Why are you even bringing up Ilhan Omar at all?
Right. Well, that's just to get people to hate on them, a Muslim or something. That's called dog whistling, right? So here,
Hassanabi.
more than 100 judges say the U.S. attorney appointee Sigal Chattah is unfit for office. So over 100 judges said that she was unfit. She was unfit to be 100 judges signed a letter. This is from the Society for the Rule of Law. Put that out.
And I bet there's some pro-Israel judges on that list of 100 judges, you know?
Yeah.
It's the law.
Here she is again. So here she is trying to lie about what happened. She says a liberal district attorney and state court judge in Nevada failed to require an alleged child molester to surrender his passport, which allowed him to flee our country. The attorney general just called me outraged, and she called the FBI director, Kash Patel. The individual who fled our country should have had his passport seized by the state authorities. He must be returned immediately to face justice. Well, if she's really outraged, Pam Bondi, why didn't she make a tweet about it? Or Kash Patel? Why aren't they upset? Remember how the guy who threw the Subway sandwich at that cop? They call it the deep state, and they tweeted out the video. They couldn't talk about it enough. Where's their outrage over this Israeli Benjamin Netanyahu deputy being allowed to go back to Israel, the home of pedophiles in the world, by the way? Why isn't she? No, that's
she didn't let him go. I thought she's responsible for him being able to be like, this is very strange.
She was so that's a lie, because what happens in Nevada is that you get to post bond before you even see a judge. So that he didn't even see a judge. The judge couldn't take his passport away because he got released because of the system they have in Nevada where he can post bond without seeing a judge first, which is exactly what he did. So interim U.S.
Jimmy.
So
yeah.
Well, let me just read this.
Rachel Wolfson's dad, who works here, one of the comics, that's her dad, Wolfson.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interim U.S. Attorney for Nevada, Sigal Chattah, blamed Wolfson and a state court judge for failing to require Alexandrovich to return his passport after posting bail. However, neither had anything to do with the process. So she's blaming other people who have nothing to do with this process, the judge and this guy Wolfson.
Who's also Jewish, by the way. You're trying to pin it on another Jew? That's pretty messed up.
That's not good. The Justice Court sets the standard bail schedule, and the process to bail out of that point post-arrest does not involve the district attorney's office nor any judge. Alexandrovich did not appear before a judge and posted bond before his state-entitled probable cause hearing and before prosecutors filed a criminal complaint against him. Thus, no judge could put any added restrictions on his release. He was just arrested and charged.
Oh, well, it's just a sex crime with a child. Why would he not?
While a
have bail?
judge later reviewed the bail, there was no physical hearing, and the judge had no mechanism to add further restrictions.
Not even like a slot, like a lever he could pull.
So get this. So just know that it's your American taxpayer money that he used to bond out of that jail. Just so you know that.
Oh, man. Does Ilhan Omar at least hate it?
And now here's U.S. Attorney Nevada. So this is her. She released this. She says, last week, Artiom Alexandrovich was arrested in Nevada Internet Crimes Against Children joint operation. He was booked into the Henderson detention facility. This important multi-agency operation targeted child predators who preyed upon the most vulnerable members of our communities. As a result of the operation, the Clark County District Attorney's Office is handling the prosecution. Wait a minute. Why? That seems weird.
Well, the entire thing has been bizarre right from the start of this.
Candace Owens says this. She's got some good insight. She says, update regarding the Israeli official who tried to have with a child in Vegas, then fled to Israel after meeting with the NSA. The U.S. Attorney General who released him is Israeli-born Sigal Chattah makes sense now, especially given the fact that Vegas was effectively built by the Adelson gambling empire. The entire city is an Israeli operation. LOL to the guys who think what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in Vegas likely winds up stored in a file in Israel. Israel is the godforsaken country of blackmail, murder, and child abuse. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene is upset about this. She said 2 recent decisions made by the State Department both involve children. We need to be the America that allows war-torn children to come here for life-saving surgeries, and the America that never releases a foreign child sex predator that our great Leos caught. But in this circumstance, Leos are law enforcement officers. But in this circumstance, those war-torn children are from Gaza. So there's children from Gaza who have missing limbs, and so they were supposed to come to the United States and get prosthetic arms and legs. They canceled their visas. Who did that? The State Department.
Yeah.
That's Trump's State Department canceled their visas to come get prosthetics here. But this circumstances, those war-torn children are from Gaza, and this foreign child predator is from Israel and works directly for Netanyahu. Let me guess. Would it be anti-Semitic to drag Netanyahu's cyber executive director back to America and prosecute this piece of it to the full extent of the law, and at the same time let Palestinian kids who had their limbs and bodies blown apart receive surgeries in America? Would that be anti-Semitic? This is Marjorie Taylor Greene.
For the last time.
This is her going right at the Trump administration.
I know.
Going right at them.
You'd have thought the Trump administration was a French first lady with a dick, the way she's going at them.
So, Las Vegas was effectively built by the Adelson gambling empire. The entire city is an Israeli operation. So you're telling me that Bugsy Siegel was Jewish? Come on. Next thing you're going to tell me is that Bob Odenkirk is a goy. Oh, grab him by the pussycat.
I had to grab, the cat.
My special will be out this Saturday. It will be dropped on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, everywhere on this Saturday. So here, the State Department put out this, says the State Department is aware that Artiom Alexandrovich, an Israeli citizen, was arrested in Las Vegas and given a court date for charges related to soliciting sex electronically from a minor. He did not claim diplomatic immunity and was released by a state judge pending a court date. Any claims that the U.S. government intervened are false. Well, that is a false statement. A judge did not release him. That is not how that works, and I just explained to you how it works there. He got released before he ever saw a judge.
I mean,
so they're
we
lying.
Saw this coming, right?
Right.
Blakely, did not
Blakely,
see that coming.
I am Blakely says It's also quite strange how chill you guys are about this. So you'll melt down after a student wearing a kafifah, but over a student wearing a kafifah, but this guy is an alleged pedo caught by local law enforcement and then got away, and you guys are just like, listen, we didn't have anything to do with it. Where's the concern? Man, this is revealing. Yeah, they're not outraged at the State Department. They're not saying we're demanding extradition for that guy back to the United States to face these charges. They're not upset. There's no...
I'm surprised they're not going, you're still talking about that?
Yeah.
That's typical thing for Israeli pedophiles, is it not? What are you even talking about that for?
I like this Subway sandwich. That's what Trump's attorney general does. Oh, Israeli head of cybersecurity banging kids? No problem.
Now, are we sure the deep state is not a new kind of sandwich at Subway, and that's why they were using
maybe here
a new deep state turkey on whole wheat hoagie?
Clayton Morris says, why allow him to return to Israel, which is a haven for pedos and SEX criminals? 90% of all SEX crime cases in Israel result in no indictments. And it's from the Jerusalem Post. Israel needs to stop being a haven for SEX criminals. That's from the Jerusalem Post. And here's from CBS News.
A CBS News investigation has uncovered a loophole that allows accused and convicted American pedophiles to escape justice by moving to Israel. So Ian Lee has been following this for more than a year, and he traveled to Israel for this investigation. He worked with a group that tracks people accused of sex crimes, which estimates dozens of Americans have used this loophole.
So why don't we close that loophole? Of course not. Of course we're not gonna. And those people go unprosecuted once they get to Israel. That's why they go there. Because if you're Jewish, you have a thing called the right of return, which means if you're a Jew, you have the right to go to Israel and demand citizenship. And that's exactly what they do, and they get it. Just so somebody tweeted this out. I thought this was interesting. A former Israeli prime minister visited Epstein dozens of times in a 4-year period, and this wasn't investigated. Between 2013 and 2017, Ehud Barak, former Israeli prime minister, visited Jeffrey Epstein approximately 30 times at Epstein's Florida and New York estates. He flew with Epstein on his private aircraft, accompanied by his wife and an Israeli security guard. In 2015, he entered into a business deal with Epstein to fund an Israeli startup. And by December, he began visiting Epstein monthly for nearly a year. And there he is.
Nice.
There's Barack entering the home of Jeffrey Epstein, January 2016.
He had to know if Prince Andrew's a better friend than him. Do you like Prince Andrew better than me?
So,
am I your best friend or not?
So, Israel.
My friend just texted me that the Philippines are full. That's why they gotta send them to Israel.
So this is not only is Trump not releasing the Epstein files and calling you a weakling stupid if you want them released, even though everybody in his cabinet ran on releasing them. Not only is he protecting that pedo ring, which he is, that's what he's doing, and he's protecting Israel by doing so. Now he's letting pedos just go free, not demanding they be extradited back to the United States. Not just let them free.
Yeah.
And that was all arranged because that guy is an Israeli diplomat, and Trump has that tool of Israel appointed as the Nevada U.S. attorney. So that's what's really happening here, and they're lying to you at every turn. The State Department lied. That Chattah, the U.S. attorney for Nevada, she lied to you. They're all lying about this. What happened is Israel, as a pedo working for Netanyahu, he got caught in a pedo sting. And then they allowed him to go back to Israel. Nothing's ever going to happen.
Why does this happen so much? And why would you send Laura Loomer and Narco Rubio to block the kids with no legs from getting legs? Like, it's not enough that they can't have legs. You're going to have Laura Loomer's awful face for them to look at and frighten them away from the border?
Well, if you want something good to look at, you can come look at me in Rutherford, New Jersey, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Appleton, Rosemont, Chicago, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, and San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. So this is another one of those. I wonder I wonder why Marty McCarry, the head of the FDA, canceled his appearance on our show. Were they afraid we were going to ask him stuff about that? I don't know what he was afraid I wasn't going to ask him about this, but they love to go on CNN and MSNBC, but they don't want to come on independent news unless it's somebody easy. If
they go on it, then it's not independent.
Yeah.
Or it's so big that they think it's going to help them. These idiots go on Rogan and then they think they're going to do great. And Rogan lets them talk and everybody hates them after they're Kash Patel went on like he was going to tamper that Epstein thing down.
Yeah, it didn't work. Come see me on tour in Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Hey, RFK Jr. is making reforms to organ donation policy, and for shocking reasons. You guys have seen this horrifying story about people's organs being harvested while they're still showing signs of life as their family begs for them to stop the surgery. Click the video on the screen to watch.